does Edwards act as a clarifier in helping us to really identify the authentic nature of Christianity as we observe what's going on in our culture today?
Yeah, he doesn't answer all the questions. I mean, but he does address the question that was raised already in the Great Awakening when Whitefield had come through, and he was a great supporter of Whitefield. But then there are other evangelists who were imitators who were already way off the track, and he saw a lot of people, some of in his own congregation, whom he thought had been converted, and then 10 years later, obviously hadn't happened. And but they were professing Christians and communicant members, and so he in the wake of the revivals, he asked, what are the signs of authentic Christianity that we can look for, particularly in ourselves, but also in others? And he writes a book on treatise on religious affections or religious loves. And the signs of true Christianity are, where are your loves oriented? And I think of it as if you have this central vision of Christ, the revelation of Christ at the center of reality, that's what creation is, why God created, and or that to reveal the love of Christ, then that ought to be a kind of like a planet that holds your other loves, your lesser loves in, or like the sun that holds the planets of your lesser loves in their right order, the right ordering of loves, which comes from Augustine. What does it look like if a Christian's loves are rightly ordered? So he starts with love to God and expounds on what that involves, and then he gets to what are the qualities of a Christian person who's truly loving, and humility he quotes Augustine and John Calvin saying, what are the essential traits of Christianity? He says humility, humility, humility. It's like the realtor's location, location, location. Humility, humility, humility. That should be one of our central our central traits. And one that I found particularly intriguing in light of a lot of discussion today is he emphasizes that the true Christian should have a lamb-like, dove-like character, like Jesus. And rather than emphasize, he says, there's some Christians think that you need to be manly, warlike, but they're really mistaken in sort of translating those kinds of fierce qualities into the Christian character. And what you should be looking for in the Christian character are childlike characteristics. And except if you have to be like a little child to follow Christ, and Christ is gentle and mild, and we lose sight of that all too easily. And then Edwards goes on with other traits, ends up, longest part of his treatise is charity. Look for acts of charity. What are people doing for other people? And that's really the best sign. How much of your Christianity is self-serving and how much is really serving others? And it can be a challenging thing to keep thinking about. How much of what you're doing is to make yourself secure and comfortable, and are you really reflecting the love of Christ and sacrificial love of Christ? That's a great challenge and very difficult kind of thing. But I think Edwards is right. That's the kind of thing to look for, and that's the sort of thing that can give depth to anyone's Christianity. I don't have a good idea of how to solve all the problems of the church today, but those are good qualities. And you mentioned like moralistic, therapeutic deism. That it's therapeutic. A lot of people see Christianity as just sort of therapeutic. What do I get out of it? And Edwards is saying it needs to be oriented toward these loves, first the love to God, and then this rightly ordered secondary loves, and get them in the right in right relationships, and then there'll be beauty in your own Christianity. And I think one goal for any local congregation is to say, is that people are drawn to Christianity often not by particular teachings or by arguments, but they say, look at those people, and there's something they're doing that's just right. And I'd like to be part of a community like that. And that's much more important than do you teach this doctrine or this particular doctrine. But to develop a community that's known as a loving community. And that's the way people are very often convinced of things. I mean, that's the way we try to witness. So you try to be a winsome community, and I think sometimes that gets lost, particularly in some of the on both the left and right, political Christianity, or you get ideological Christianity rather than what shall I say, relational Christianity that's biblically grounded. And that's what one of the things Edwards, I think, offers a guide to. I mean, he doesn't have all the answers, but it's a good reminder that this is where the core should be, and this is what a Christian community should look like.